The amateur game has always been a big part in our lives. It's always the topic of our conversations and it's constantly on our minds on a daily basis.
Although it's not at a professional level, the amateur game is a working class sport at a working class level. Players put their bodies on the line, lives on hold, and have worked their socks off to be the best they can be from the top to the bottom of the amateur game.
We live and breathe football, and the amateur game has given us our best years in football. Both of us have come to the end of our playing days and want to sit and speak to the legends of the game, legends in their world, to sit and listen about the careers and stories of the game we love.
Welcome to our podcast.
3 points, please. So today we have a player who at one stage was probably the best centre forward around. He has 6 top goal scorer trophies over 2 divisions. He's still coaching, still managing, still playing. Barry Kavanagh.
Welcome, Barry.
Thanks, lads.
It's a good start, yeah.
Barry, you're up at Duleek now.
Yeah.
Player manager.
Yeah, player manager for the second team, yeah. So, enjoying it, doing that now, maybe 3 years, do with another fella, Jimmy Hartnett, so I still play a bit, Jimmy will take over while I'm playing or whatever, so enjoying it still.
Training not still
training, yeah.
Like?
No, I wouldn't take too many sessions. We have, the first team has a UEFA licensed coach, Dylan Moore his name is, and his sessions are top notch, brilliant, so I wouldn't really need to take them. That's his end of things, but it's brilliant, I have to say, top notch it is.
Are you with the second team?
Yeah.
With the first name, yeah, second team.
Second team, yeah. So.
And you get a few, you were saying before we got on, a few little late shouts to call up for the first team.
Yeah, no, I got one there. I got one a couple of weeks ago. The lads were short players. They'd have to be short to be asking me, at my age. But yeah, they asked me to come out. We were playing over in Knockline during the week as well, so that was probably why they were short as well. So, got a half an hour off the bench, so happy enough with that.
Enjoy it still though?
Yeah, still enjoy it. Just love scoring goals. That's something I always loved doing and still do, yeah.
You always seem to be that sort of player, you look at you the way you played and all, and say, always seen you were always available, weren't you? Any time Pluto played against you, you were always there, you were never missing or...
Yeah, no, to be fair, it was that, but it was injuries as well. I was lucky enough, apart from one major one. Yeah, and I always took it serious, and just love scoring goals, that was it, so...
What sort of setup have you got up in the league?
That's very good now, I have to say. We've laid a new pitch. It's going to be ready in March. Grass pitch, yeah. Lights are going to follow, funding available and that. There's a 9-a-side pitch beside it then as well. We can train on that. And we have our older pitch up there. It's a bit small, a bit tight. I think the youths are going to be taking over that, but the pitch is class, I have to say. We have our own all-weather up there. We got that relayed a year ago.
Full size?
No, it's like 8-a-side, perfect for training, got that relayed with the 4G stuff, so it's very good, I have to say.
Good structure there for you, yeah?
Yeah, it's great, I have to say. All the gear's available, it's going the right direction, yeah.
Brilliant.
Many schoolboys up there?
There wasn't, but recently now I have to say, I think there's a schoolboy team at every age now.
Brilliant.
Yeah, so we were struggling for a while, but Duleek's after getting a bit bigger, so we have a thing, we just want every kid there to be able to play football, so yeah.
We're talking about the changeover to summer football to winter football and everything else. You are summer football currently, aren't you?
Yeah, that change happened about 5 or 6 years ago, I think, so it's similar to the League of Ireland. It'll start in March, finishes October. We go into the Leinster Junior Cup as well, so that can drag it on through the winter. But in general, yeah, March to October, November,
Obviously, there's discussion around about the FUI going with DDSL going into summer football. So do you see the benefits of it?
Oh, definitely.
So
definitely.
tested already?
No matches called off. That's the biggest thing. Or very few matches called off. Your only issue is a little bit with lads maybe away on holiday during the summer. But, you cope, and most teams have a decent squad. You can get around that. I think that the summer football outweighs the winter just for the pitches being on, so...
Yeah, my team on the 11th hadn't had a game in about 4 weeks. and obviously it's home and away. So like it's not only that Finchley United has been off with the Arbor there.
Just called off. Yeah.
Grass pitches called off. Public parks called off on a Friday. It doesn't rain for the rest of the weekend, and they're still off.
Yeah.
This is probably the first time we've spoken to somebody that has been
There's summer football,
involved in summer football on a senior level or on any level probably. So probably be good for a little insight. Like you obviously feel positive about it, but didn't you, after playing with a normal season?
100%. Yeah, like when I played up in the AUL for Ballynon and Kilbarrack, like you remember with Wefton that you could go the whole December and half of January without playing, you know. And then if you have a bad February, then you're only playing a couple of matches in 2 or 3 months. So
then the other side of it is you're playing 3 times a week. Then you're getting dragged from the M50. You're walking in Sandyford and you'd go down to the Hout or whatever, and you're dragged. You're hitting traffic, and
we all had that as well.
Yeah,
remember
definitely.
April, May, trying to catch up. You're doing 3 matches a week, and that's how you're getting injuries as well. You know, you push the lads too much,
and the ground around then is like concrete as well. You know,
as well. Yeah,
and does everybody else find it like up in them areas? Like obviously they all go to summer football.
Yeah, I think so.
Positive about it, or
yeah, well, there's a negative when you're outside of Dublin because you're competing with the Gala, so that can be an issue outside of Dublin. I found in Dublin you're either a GA player or a soccer player, but when you're outside of Dublin, smaller villages like Duleek, it's you can be competing with them and you can lose lads to GA and all. But to be fair, the last few years we have lads that are just solid playing football, playing soccer, you know. So
I think the holiday thing is the more fearful for anybody, isn't it? Like to say, look, if we have when it hits the month of July, just take a break in July at all?
Yeah, there's a 2-week break. Yeah, 2-week break, but the holiday thing can be an issue.
Is that the only kind of issue? That's
the only drawback, I'd say. And
it's not major anyway, is it?
It's not major. Pitches can be a little hard sometimes, you know. July, August, if it's, you know, in the really hot weather, you can get hard pitches. And personally, I like the pitches to be a little softer, you know, but that's the only drawback. But as you said, you learn to live with it. You manage, you know. So
I find now, like, the holidays are all year round now. Like, where years ago it would have been, look, you take your 2 weeks in July, you know, builders holidays. But everyone's still going away. Like, there's weekends, people, weekends. But there's people still going away at like Christmas time and then going to, you know, hot countries in February, March. So they're still going to miss. Like, so. It doesn't sound, when you hear it coming from somebody that's involved in it and knows the football, it's...
I'd say is more advantages than disadvantages. Definitely,
any success this year with the Saturday side or any cup runs?
The Saturday side, we went up 2 divisions. So the league asked us, we won our league last year. It was a lower enough league, Division 3A or something. So they asked us to go up 2 divisions instead of 1. We were a bit wary of it, but we finished 4th. So I found that good, but the big success was the first team. The first team won the league for the first time ever.
Very good.
Some celebrations up there in the league. It was brilliant. Some players as well, I have to say. There's 3 or 4 players on that team. Some of the best junior players I've ever seen.
Wow.
Like, and I've seen a few down through the years, but there's 3 or 4 of them who would fit into the Ballymun teams and the Kilbarrack teams that I played in, you know. They're that good, like. So
would you say a junior call-up or representatives call-up be...
Yeah, I'd say it's close enough. I know 2 or 3 of them went over for a Leinster senior a trial match in Navan there for the Leinster senior team, but I don't know what came of that now. But I'd say there's a couple not far from an amateur or a junior call, you know. So
do you know all about that yourself, being a part of the squad for a long time?
A little bit, yeah. That's it.
Said here, Bar, how many caps did you have? Sorry, I'm trying to get it up there.
I think it was 18 or 19. Like.
19 caps, and would there been a few? Yeah, 19, 8 goals.
Yeah.
Would there been a few games there where you would have got games, but no caps as well, like, you know, and probably would have played obviously more than 19 times, would you have?
Yeah, probably. Yeah, I'd say it'd be in the high 20s, you know. So there was a lot of representative games as well. So I'd say 28, 29, but
brilliant.
Yeah, 18 or 19 caps. So
very good.
Enjoy it.
Loved it. Yeah, loved it. I have to say. Didn't get my first one till I was 27.
Really?
So my last one when I was 34, still playing up in Duleek. So I think I got 3 or 4 while I was playing up in Duleek. So so it was late enough coming, but you know, I enjoyed it when it happened. Yeah,
Had a what would be the word you'd be looking for? You probably had a tough broad of players around you to compete against at that level.
without doubt.
Probably the best.
Without doubt, you know.
The best era of centre forwards in junior football ever, probably.
It really was, you know. You could go through the names, like we can name them if you want, you know. There was, you know, the Canes, there was Lacey,
Mika,
Kieran, there was John O'Rourke.
you.
Jesus, so many, you know. But yeah, there was like
Burdock as well.
Yeah.
Burdock as well. I couldn't
You
have
obviously competed with Burdock and Davey with Ballymun, wouldn't you,
yeah,
at the start?
from the start, Davey and Burdock would have been in, and do you know what? I remember just coming on for half an hour here and there. Didn't have any problem with that because the two lads were on fire. It was brilliant to watch, you know.
Even said, as I said there, but I muttered my way through the opening there. 6 top goal scorers, 4 in Premier A and 2 in Premier B.
Yeah, 2 in Premier B. Shared one with Lacey in Premier B with Valley. Sure, yeah.
You must have got a right few that year.
What year were we talking? Goal boys.
How many?
Yeah.
The year, I think we shared it. 2 of us got like 26 each or something.
You were with Kilbarrack?
I was with Kilbarrack, yeah.
Kilbarrack and the Valley went up that year, am I right?
You won it.
Won it.
Valley won it, and
yeah,
that's right. Now, you were always going to win it. Like,
did it go to play it? Did it go to the last game of the season or something like that out there? Did it?
Did it? Yeah. No, I don't think it did. I think you won it before that. Yeah, I definitely think you won it before that. You were better than us. Yeah, I remember that. Brings back memories.
Yeah, good memories.
So the Premier A ones, so what goals are you looking into the 20s as well for?
Not always, no. So the first one I shared with Davy Kane, I was just looking back, it was on the first year that Kilbarrack went up. I think we finished third from bottom or something. But myself and Davy shared, I think we 17 or 18. It was tough to get goals back then as well, you know. Then I shared another one with Lacey and Terry Corbley. So three of us.
I remember 3 has got that year. You remember that?
No. And then
it was on. I think something went. There was talk about when it went to the last game of the season, and
was it in the Regency or something? We had the Oak.
Yeah.
So were they 3 separate teams? Obviously,
Lacey and
Terry with
Leicester, and you were with Ballymun, Kilbarrack maybe.
No, I was with me last year with Kilbarrack. Yeah.
Was it? Yeah. And they shared it.
Yeah, and then there was 2 on my own. One with Ballymun, and 1 in the middle. Then with Kilbarrack. So, yeah.
That's some going now, yeah.
Yeah. Nice combat there with the three top goal scorers,
yeah.
3 good players as well.
Before we get too far ahead, actually, we'll take it back then to the childhood, and if you can remember that far back, or
not really. No, I was trying to think back. So, like schoolboys, I would have played with Ballymun, grown up.
From Ballymun, Barry?
Yeah, it's from like a couple of 100 yards from the San Siro pitch, the old pitch, you know.
Did you play there as a kid?
Yeah,
as kicking the ball, yeah.
And then when I first came up to the seniors, then I played there. Ballymun. I was with Tolka at 17s and half of 18s, and then went back to Ballymun. That's when I started with
Ballymun schoolboys all the way up to
all the way. Yeah. So,
anyone on your team or squad that would have kicked on?
I'm trying to think now. Not really at that age group. No, I don't think you'd know anyone at the age group. But trying to think. No, there wouldn't have been.
Were you always a centre forward?
Yeah, always a centre forward. I remember playing right wing a few times when Davey and Gary were playing, which look, it's grand. Played right wing on that big pitch on the San Siro, 17, 18. You know, loads of running and just kept getting the ball, beating the left full, crossing in for the boys, or else cutting in and shooting, which I probably did more. But right wing the odd time, but centre forward, all the way.
Yeah, very good.
So you would have went in straight from, if it was Tolga or Ballymun, back to Ballymun, you'd went in from 18s Ballymun straight into the first team or Saturday team?
Yeah, I think I left Tolka's 18s halfway through the season and went to Ballymun's senior team halfway through that season. Then when that season finished, then the summer, we signed all the Wefta boys. You remember?
Yeah.
That was unreal. Like they signed like Dara, Steve Hanna, Gary, Richie Kelly, Al Curtis, I think, as well.
Also, yeah.
All class players. And to be honest, that was probably the big reason we started winning everything, was the Wefta lads. You know, it was brilliant.
Yeah, I think the lads said that as well, didn't they? It kind of changed then.
Yeah, just
When they
actually
signed the
kicked on,
Wefta lads, yeah.
Yeah, something
Pointing it
changed.
over the line.
Something changed. Like the lads brought something different with them, you know. And I'd say it was poxy for fucking Wefta to lose them lads, but it was brilliant. Especially, I think I remember Dara being a big difference, you know. Dara just...
He was unreal, wasn't he?
He was brilliant, yeah. I think him and Christie were in the midfield, and it's just, they were perfect together, you know. And Dara was just brilliant. But Christie was calm then, everything. Christie controlled the game. Dara just sorted everything else out. Anything else that needed sorting on a pitch, Dara had sorted. So
I think did Dara have a spell up in Duleek as well? Did he take over Duleek? Or was he up there?
No.
I know that was Glebe, was he?
He was Glebe, he was with, yeah.
You have some memory, hasn't he?
Yeah, Dara was with Glebe for a while. I think he played, didn't he, for a while as well? He
moved up to Balbriggan. Remember when
he moved
up there, yeah.
When he came.
His young fella actually played in Duleek. His young fella come over to us, Derek Jr., come over to us for 6 months. Very same player as him, running around, you know.
Yeah, Derek Triangle, when Dara took over, Derek came in and I think he might have played with the Saturday team. Yeah, I think he played the Saturday
very
team.
similar to Dara,
to him, yeah. But so you kicked on with that. Was that your first season then with the first team when you?
Yeah, it was kind of the half season before that, and then the fourth season was when we won everything. Then, you know. Did
you feature much that year?
Yeah, I played a bit now. You know, coming off the bench and a couple of injuries the lads would get. Played a fair bit. Came on the final against Kevin's, Davy Kane's final. Come on for a half an hour. Yeah, played. Yeah, bits and bobs out of the season. Scored a few goals coming off the bench. Learned a lot from watching the two lads. You know.
Definitely.
You said only one Premier League.
Yeah, it was that year. It was that year. Yeah.
It's good. It's mad you said that Davy Kane's final there as well. We were talking about that final.
Oh,
the one that was his one. Yeah, the hat trick.
The one he got the hat trick.
Yeah.
It was unreal. I remember watching up the bench. I think he got it in the first half, did he as well?
Yeah,
I do remember that. Yeah, it was unreal. He was unplayable and playing against good defenders, you know, Dougie Dolan and all, proper defenders. But he was just, he was unplayable that day, and most days as well. So
it's good. Good learning cover and a good experience that year, I'm sure, would have been for you, especially like coming on 17, 18, coming on in an FAI Junior Cup, like and playing a big part of that season, like, because I'm sure it wouldn't have been the easiest team to kind of make a mainstay in it, you know, when that game probably didn't change too much. But
it was tough, but
we're listening to
the lads. Winning every week, and to be fair to Sinna, was the manager at the time. He'd empty the bench as well, you know. It wasn't like he wasn't giving lads a chance, so he'd give it a chance, but hard to dislodge the two boys, you know. And that's the end of that season then. Casey went to Kilbarrack, and that's how that ended up. So
Casey just took over then. Was he playing?
He was playing. Casey came on the final as well against Kevin's, and then at the end of the season then Casey's from Kilbarrack, so they asked him to take over as player manager, and Casey took a few of us with him.
Premier B that time?
Premier B, yeah, with Valley. And we went. I just wanted to play football. That was the main thing, you know. So playing football every week, then that's all you want, you know, play ball.
Well, obviously, then with the season and a half with the lads centre forward, learning off them as well.
Yeah,
you probably put into practice then, because it goes to show your personality to sit on the bench and watch the lads and can learn off them. So obviously you're willing, and
and that's exactly what I did. Like two different players, the two lads, but you know, you can pick little bits
off both players.
You know, Davey was just, you know, all action. Gary was time stood still with Gary. You know, the ball had just dropped in the box. It looked like Gary had, you know,
slow motion for him.
Slow motion, and everyone else was rushing around, and Gary was the boss in there when he'd have the ball. So great to watch and great to learn off, and took little bits and both of them, you know.
Yeah, good.
What was it? Was it an easy decision decision for you to get out of there from like obviously a childhood team, and obviously you're from Ballymun? Or
Yeah, and the pitch was whatever 300 or 400 yards from my parents' house at the time, you know. But easy enough because I wanted to play. Now Kilbarrack was a fair bit up. I didn't drive or anything, you know. I'd have to get the bus up, or a couple of lads would be driving from Ballymun.
Casey collects you in the army truck.
Casey did actually collect me a few times, not once or twice in the army truck, but he'd collect me in his car and then have to drop me home after it and all. So, but yeah, like Casey was great to play under, I have to say. Great coach and a great manager as well, I have to say. Brilliant. He was probably the best manager I've ever had.
Yeah, seriously.
I'd go that far, yeah.
You obviously played a long period of time with him, like obviously played with him with Ballymun, and then a good stint with Kilbarrack. Did he have you the whole time you were with Kilbarrack?
Yeah. So I went then with him. We'll probably get on to that in a while. When he went to Ballymun then from Kilbarrack, I went from Kilbarrack. Yeah. So it was 6 years and all. I did 6 full seasons at Kilbarrack, you know. So
was he his man management, or was it the way he kind of set up his teams, formations, or what?
No, more man management, but also coaching. Like he's a registered coach as well, and his coaching sessions were brilliant. But I found his man management was brilliant, you know. He'd know exactly what to say to each player, you know. He'd put the arm around some, he'd you know, have a...
Give another kick up the arse or whatever needs to be done.
Exactly, yeah. So he knew who needed what, but it was man management mostly, yeah.
So at that stage then with Kilbarrack Premier B, are the young lads coming through that kind of stayed for the long haul at Kilbarrack, or was it kind of the old guard still there?
Yeah, it was a mixture of both. There was an old guard there, and like... to be fair, I was only 20, 21, you know. There was an older group of lads there, but there was younger lads then, 16, 17, that eventually went on with Kilbarrack's success a bit further on.
Yeah.
So they were there when I was there. And yeah, they eventually went on, won a fair few things with Kilbarrack, you know.
So it was always a little tough place to go down to Kilbarrack, wasn't it? Like you never got an easy game down there. I used to enjoy
everyone used to say that, yeah.
The pitch was decent, wasn't it, for such a pitch?
It was alright, yeah.
Open, like,
it was grand. This was the pitch. It's not the one that's there now.
Yeah, not the Astro.
We never gave anyone an easy game. Like Casey sometimes used to set up a 5 in midfield, and we'd just make it horrible for teams. But we were decent enough without. We never won anything when I was there. But we put it up to teams, got some good results, but had a few little runs in cups and all. But just a little bit extra quality probably wasn't there, you know.
Good 6 years, was it? You brought it to Kilbarrack, you said, did you?
Yeah.
It's a long stint, isn't it, for a football team?
It is 6 full seasons.
There's only Ballymun, sorry.
Yeah, just saying, for a football team, it wasn't close to me either, so I had to travel for 6 years.
That's unreal, yeah.
And even when I moved to Duleek, I was still with Kilbarrack for a year. So I was travelling back then, and then I went to Ballymun. I was still travelling back for 3 or 4 years before I made the move then to Duleek AFC. So a little bit of travelling involved, you know. When you're
coming into Premier A then, Bar, like at that age, as you said, 20, 21, you're coming in hitting the ground running like the way, like, so like any time I would have obviously played against you, you'd obviously been Kilbarrack's main man, and then obviously you led on to being probably Ballymun's main centre forward then when you went there, and seeing you as an international and all them sort of bits and pieces. Would you hit the ground running when you first came into Kilbarrack at that age, or did it progress then, like, gradually?
No, to be fair, it was fairly straight away, you know. We were Premier B at the start, playing against you, the Valley team, and yeah, no, it was fairly straight away. And then we came second in the year you won it, went up to Premier A, and we finished third from bottom. But look, we battled through and stayed up, you know. And I don't think if I remember right, we got relegated at all after that, you know. So it was always a battle, but you know, it was good. And yeah, I scored goals, I think, most years in Premier A after that. So
see when it comes to the stages then, Bar, that it kind of like you're obviously getting sniffed around that, like you're one of the best centre forwards obviously in the league, and it's probably coming in. Are you getting much interest from anybody else, or you like staying with Kilbarrack, like being no disrespect to them at that time, but a lower level team? And
Yeah, I can't really remember, if I'm being honest. Like, you know yourself back then with amateur and junior football and all, there's always like texts and all, and people ringing you, and you'd see people in a pub talking to you and all. But to be honest, I was loyal, you know. I enjoyed playing with Kilbarrack, enjoyed my football, scoring goals, and I was happy there. So I wasn't in a rush to leave, so it was good.
It's been 6 years at a club, travelling back and forth, though. That's some dedication for you. And then to go back to, obviously, Ballymun and when Casey, that shows the dedication that you have for him as well. So
No, Casey would have been the main reason that I went to Kilbarrack, and to be honest, one of the main reasons I stayed. Just got on well, football-wise and personally, you know. It clicked, and then went back to Ballymun with him. He was one of the main reasons I went back to Ballymun. So.
And that stage then, was a rebuild for Casey back then, or what team did you probably know what team he stepped into?
Is this a rebuild at Ballymun?
Yeah.
They probably would have went through a couple of managers, would they? Because wasn't...
Oh, they did. I think they didn't. Danny
Crowley was there, Martin. and Paul Martin then. Yeah.
There would have been a few managers. Joey
Malone.
Malone
in and out.
So there would have been 3 or 4 managers there, but all good managers as well, and some of them had success as well, you know. But I think they were looking for something a little bit more long term, and they knew they'd more than likely have that with Casey. So they got... I think Casey was there for 3 or 4 years after that then, you know. So
did this international call come in when he came back to Ballymun the second time, or was that...
No,
with Kilbarrack?
So that was with Kilbarrack first. It had taken, as I said, a while. I was 27 getting my first cap, but yeah, it was like 2007 I got my first cap, and that was over in the Quadrangular in Isle of Man. And like, funny thing is, like, I remember Casey coming over to watch. Like,
very good. That's brilliant. Isn't it?
Yeah.
Proper man manager for you there.
He was that sort of fella, you know. I remember him knocking at the hotel, asking for me and all. I'd come out and chatting to me. Like, we weren't allowed outside, but I remember him coming out and chatting, and you know.
Probably set your nerves a little bit to see you. So obviously you knew a few boys around it, but to see a manager there.
Exactly, yeah. And
27, you're still going to get nervous.
Yeah, definitely nervous, especially my first cap, and it had taken so long. Like, I was waiting. I was hoping for it for 3 or 4 years before that. Just didn't happen.
Were you called into any squads or anything, like training?
Yeah, a couple of trainings that never really came about then. And yeah, so up to the AUL, a few little training sessions, but probably didn't do enough to make Jerry call me up then. But eventually, you know, I just kept plugging away and
scoring goals.
Goals. It's hard to ignore. It is hard to ignore goals, and that's
What do you think would be like the turning screw there, Bar, with like being up? Like, I know obviously with internationals, you know, they try and get people in and around squads, and obviously the players that you're competing against, you know, like you probably have the like Davy Kane, Davy Lacey, Mika Keogh, all in them squads that you're kind of battling up against, and probably being a late kind of incomer at 27.
Yeah, it is late enough, but I think with the likes, I think Jerry Smith, I think one of the big things was maturity as well. He's, you know, I think he wanted fellas to be a bit later on in their careers, and I think once you get in and you get Jerry's respect, he'll keep you there, you know. So the hardest part was getting there, and once you get there, if you do everything he asks and you score goals and, you know, give everything, Jerry will keep you there, you know. So
obviously you're playing for the league, and he brought you back into the squad as well, which is he trusted you. Yeah,
well, I was with Ballymun, and I had left Ballymun because I was travelling up and down, as I said, and I wanted to give a couple of years when I still had a little bit of pace, you know, still playing to go up to Duleek. And I remember speaking to Jerry Davis and Jerry Smith about it and asked them what they thought, and they says it's not really going to affect it. You know, we'll still pick you, we'll come up and watch. And I think I got 4 or 5 caps after that. Still playing, but
good reassurance to get, isn't it, from two top men like in like that basically held the power.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, because some people would probably worry and not make that move, you know, or make that phone call even.
Exactly, yeah. But like I loved playing for the amateurs, and I remember ringing them and just being a bit nervous and saying, right, this is going to hinge on what these say. And not a bother to them, yeah. He says, look, it doesn't matter where you're playing as long as you're still at a good level. You know, if you're good enough, you'll be picked. So, and you were true to their word. So
I think, who was telling the story that, I think it was Lacey, was it? He only came back from Australia and he was up in the gym one day and he's seen Jerry Smith there and he's like, oh, yeah, back. I'll give you a call next week. So he obviously, he kind of knew the player, he knew what you wanted and knew what you had.
And that was the thing with Jerry, if he trusts you and he knew
you knew what you had.
Yeah, the hardest part was getting the first one, I think, and then once Jerry knew you were in.
Was any snipping around from League of Ireland teams or any?
Really, no.
Cause as you said, they're scoring goals in a tough Premier League division. You probably think.
Yeah, no, there wasn't. Being honest, not really. No.
But the appeal to you at all?
No, it didn't really. It was probably 4 nights a week training, isn't it? League of Ireland, and then you're playing. You could be playing anywhere.
Everywhere, yeah.
And then once you get into the amateurs, then obviously you can't play for the amateurs if you're League of Ireland.
Yeah.
So, so
your mind was focused on the amateurs, was it?
100%. Yeah. And
I think that would have rode on a lot of players' minds of fiddling or flirting with the thought of going to a League of Ireland team that probably had the opportunity would be the likes of getting amateur caps and things like that, where they probably want to dedicate.
I think so, yeah.
Rather than League of Ireland.
Some nice trips away with the amateurs as well, if they remember that. And
listen, it's
sessions.
But the plaudits you get, not the plaudits you get, but as well, but the recognition you get of being an amateur international league.
That's it. And at our level that we played at, it's the highest thing you can do. So, yeah.
Yeah, and it would have been, you always looked at it, didn't you? Like, and looked in from outside. Like, obviously you would have wanted and would have loved to get one, like, say, on Air End or wherever like that. But looking in, it was the aim.
Yeah, of course, yeah. And you'd be looking at squads and papers and all, looking at names, saying, I played against him and this and that. And
that's favouritism. That's it, favouritism.
That's it, exactly. Exactly. Like, Jerry was on a hiding to nothing, to be fair. Like, everyone was an expert. And he used to actually tell us, he'd say, I cannot go anywhere. I'm in the gym and people are coming over. This fella deserves a cap of this fella. And look, I'd say his life was made a nightmare with that, you know.
Listen, if you wear the crown, that's everyone's coming for it, isn't it?
Well, this is it. I think he was there 21 years or something.
Yeah, he did a good reign.
Yeah,
favouritism.
Good reign. In fairness to him, it gave us a good insight of when we did speak to him that time. It gave us a great insight.
He was brilliant at
and what he done for amateur football, like on the international stages.
Yeah, it was great playing under, I have to say. And Jerry Davis as well. He was coach, coach Jerry. Brilliant it was. Yeah.
Before all that came about, Bar, like Are you hitting the numbers goals wise, like with the Premier A Golden Boot before you even get amateur shouts? Or
what's the highest number you hit in goal wise
in the Premier A? God, there was 32 one year. There was 30
all in the league, or was that league and cup?
No, that was both. That was league and the cup. What did I get in the league? I think it was a goal a game or one less. I think it was the 24 games we play, and I got 23 or something.
It used to be in the middle of the target, didn't it? The top 3 or 4 goal scorers.
Yeah,
was always on it. Yeah,
the golden gloves as well. Yeah,
Mac
was in the
Macca was always in it.
Yeah,
Macca was a great keeper.
But that's some shooting though, isn't it?
Goal a game.
Yeah.
Fuck.
AUL team and all that, Barbie. Like, you're getting called in from Kilbarrack, obviously. You were obviously in them squads, weren't you?
Well, yeah, that took a couple of years at the start of Kilbarrack, say 2002, didn't get into 2004, I don't think. And then, won it maybe 2005 and 6. And then a bit further on, won it another couple of times. So, yeah, that took a couple of years, but no, to be fair, I was getting in most squads and that, you know.
You sent a picture around earlier on, running little babies and everything. Well, you looked exactly the same.
You look 50 in an net.
That was the let me shave me head.
Yeah.
I think around the beer was a big bonus for me.
Yeah, it's madness, isn't it, looking back?
Yeah.
Some good memories though. Because when I seen that picture, did you go to Donegal with us as well by that time? After that,
we got beaten by Donegal in the
semi.
I remember that.
Yeah, that was carnage.
That was madness.
Carnage.
That was madness, wasn't
it? He said he's staying over as well. I was like, fair.
We couldn't believe it. We couldn't. We're going to fly up. We were like, flying up.
I thought you were nest.
And they said, like, we're going to stay. Like
fly back the next day.
A hotel, fly back the next day.
That was a recipe for disaster.
Man.
About 15 Tasmanian Devils running out Donegal. There was.
I remember.
Crazy. Yeah, we got beaten. Did it go into extra time?
Yeah.
We got beaten in extra time. I remember we were at the being, I think, probably called into it from early, the squad, saying you, Daz, Keno. And I think Mac was in it, and then
you were in a lot of squads, weren't you? Yeah.
But we...
So then, till about...
A couple of them, yeah. Well, I can't really... Yeah, was it? What did I only have?
No, because we got beat the year before in the semis against the AFL, beat us down in the Oscar Trail.
That was kind of the revenge game when we beat them
7-1.
Then,
yeah. I remember that actually. Yeah, they
beat us 1-0, was that? Or
they caught us off guard, didn't they? Like I think,
and they weren't like a decent outfit. Like the second game, they played them and beat them 7-1 was probably the right kind.
Yeah, but I remember the fourth game. There was a fair bit of kicking as well, wasn't there? And a couple of decisions a bit dodgy from the. If I remember right.
Jerry Davis was the manager.
Jerry Davis was the manager. Yeah, I think Al Talbot might have been playing for them.
Jerry Davis was the manager of the AFL.
Right. But to be fair, they had the likes of Al Talbot and Stewie Glenn,
Dara Joyce,
Brandon Matthews.
That's right.
Dara Joyce as well. A good team, but. I think it just everything went right for them and didn't go right for us. And as you say, the following year beat them 7-1. That was probably a truer reflection of it. So.
But going back to that trip, I remember Spanky got called late into the into the squad, and I think that might have been his first game to go to Donegal. And
remember him on the dance floor.
That's right.
I remember him spinning around on the dance floor, and then the way home on the plane. Then it was.
He was doing the worm, wasn't he?
Yeah, the worm he was doing.
Well, he said it was the worm.
I think he shouted down to Dermot Wilkins. Dermot was the manager then, am I right?
Yeah.
He went up to Donegal.
Dermot was sound, but very serious.
Very serious, and a little bit stern, but as you said, sound, But Spanky shouted down like, Dermot, next time you call me in the squad, you better start me. He said at the start of the playing, but like still, we're all still up, I think, from the night before.
Yeah, and we got that. I got one of the planes with the bleeding.
The propellers.
Yeah,
I remember that. It was like the Wright brothers. Remember? We didn't know what was going to happen.
We were on the plane for 20 minutes.
Remember?
Worst play ever.
Landed in Donegal.
I genuinely thought he was messing when he said we're flying up there.
It was a bit surreal, wasn't it?
It was very strange. I was only talking about that last year to someone, and I couldn't remember if it actually happened.
It's
one of them because we had a few points there.
It was blur, straight away. We just drank straight away.
Yeah.
Obviously, after the match.
Yeah. Do you know what I liked about the AUL is that I thought it was brilliant that you used to battle against everybody like you and against us, and we used to battle with the lads with Sheriff But I remember when I came to the AUL team, then it'd be a little bit, when you first be there, it'd be a little bit like
for about 10 minutes,
edgy for 10 minutes. You have a bit of that, and then it was like just being with your mates again. You start getting on with,
and there was no clicks. There wasn't just Sheriff and Weft.
No,
definitely.
No clicks. I remember actually having that night, having a great night with Darren Murphy, our Clester.
Yeah,
the both of us we probably can't remember too much, but
had
a really good night. And coming back to the hotel, walking back from the nightclub and all, just had a real good laugh. And then you'd have built kind of like football relationships from them times, being with representative teams. Because if I seen Darren Murphy in town and hadn't been in a representative, you'd probably just nodded and lead, and that's him off Clester or whatever. But you build up that relationship, and then remember having a few points, or even
a couple of points.
The likes of Tony Kane and the boys off Sheriff getting on with them, and then I remember we keep going to Tony Kane's 21st and having drinks with him and all his mates and all the Sheriff lads, and
and the AUL was great, as you say. The AUL was great for that, and after matches there was always dinner. Do you remember we'd have the pasta and all after matches and a bit of crack and all? Yeah, it was great for that.
Did Dazn Dermot get taken home in a Garda car or something, but not walking down the back road or something? The Garda the Garda pulled up.
Give them a lift.
Give them a lift,
yeah, I think I remember something like that. Yeah,
we were all standing the two boys getting dragged out of the bleed, not dragged out, but out of the Garda car. What the fuck's going on here?
I remember when we first went up, and he was reading out people who you're going to be roomed with. Now, obviously, Sheriff, Weft, Ballymote, Barrick, and now me and Willie Malloy used to go at each other in Sheriff games, and I remember saying to myself, don't put me in with Willie Malloy. Don't put me in with Willie
Straight
Malloy.
away.
And Jeremy Wilkin goes, in room 201, Alan Barra and William Malloy. And Willie Malloy looked at me and goes, what the fuck have me and you got in common, Barra, that we're going to grand? But now
I
look,
bet you it was grand.
yeah, we had grand, and I had a buzz then throughout.
So this is your podcast there, Barry. Sorry.
But yeah, look, these are the memories.
Yeah, yeah.
These are the memories that were great.
That's what it's for.
But so the move then to Kilbarrack Bar, or from Kilbarrack, when does Casey get the Ballymun job, and then it's like, Barry, are you coming? Or,
Exactly. Yeah. And it wasn't even a long conversation, you know. Yeah,
no brainer for you.
No brainer. No brainer. Casey's leaving. I'd done a fair stint at Kilbarrack, 6 years, you know, didn't know the man. So Casey went, and Casey took a couple of players with him actually. So and as I said, brilliant manager, brilliant coach. Yeah, no brainer.
Did you take anyone else with him, or just yourself?
No, he took another couple of lads. There was Dave McDonnell, played for, you was probably
Played
not,
for
Airfield. Yeah, sort of.
Dave,
Yeah. And another fella, Joey as well. Joey O'Brien as well. Small fella in midfield. Took the two of them from Kilbarrack. Two very good players, you know. So and then signed a couple more when he got to Ballymun as well. So and Davey was still there. I think Davey Conroy was still there in goal. Davey Kane was still there, and there's a couple of other players, and it was a good team we had. And then there was a few young lads, Peter Riley and that were
the lads would have been coming up, Peter and Chris and that.
Exactly, they would have
actually
been
played
about 19,
Yeah,
20.
they were the AUL youths with them. I think they would have been in around the same kind of similar age as me, and they were coming up. I think with Kevin's, but all
That's right.
went to Ballymun then.
Kevin's,
remember
yeah.
that? Chris, a great player, wasn't he?
Yeah, very good.
Just great.
player.
Just get stuck in.
Yeah.
And Peter was good.
Peter, fantastic
Clever,
player as
yeah.
well, yeah.
Similar player to yourself, actually, that kind of position, you know.
So first year going back in, I started the season. He went in.
Yeah.
Started off good, or was it?
Started off well. Actually, the first couple of matches now, we started off the league. We didn't win the league that year. Started off, Sheriff beat us 5-1 or something. We lost our second match as well, if I remember right.
Sorry, Bar, just before you go forward, are you in the AUL at this time playing, or are you, because the pitch is gone, isn't it? Like San Siro's gone.
Yeah, exactly. So we're
Ballymun playing the AUL for a good time, didn't they?
It was 3 or 4 years. Yeah, we had no home at all, so we were renting the AUL, and that's what I remember now. We lost our first couple of matches up there. They were home matches, but in the AUL on one of the side pitches, you know, lost against Sheriff, might lost against Calester. So straight away, bad start in the league. And then something just clicked then. I can't remember. I think Casey might have had a go at us, you know, a wobbler and a team meeting or something. And just, we won nearly every match then from the rest of the season, you know.
Was the development of the clubhouse and the pitch then, was that
it was
in the plans, or was it?
It was in the plans, but I know Bernard had a lot of, you know, I think Bernard was organising that himself, Bernard O'Connor, you know, but it was in the early days of that. It wasn't progressed or anything, but we'd no home at that time at all. So
what way do you know anything, the details or of anything like that of the project of that? Like, did they get compensation for the San Siro?
Not really.
And
to be honest, I
don't know.
No, I'd be lying if I said I did. I don't. I know he got a lot of sponsorship to set the pitch up.
Right.
Look, probably, you know, had to get a lot of loans and that, and got a lot of help from the council as well. I know that, but I don't know what way it went regards having to give up the pitch. You know, there's a hurling pitch on that now.
Oh, is there? Yeah, there's not houses or anything with it.
No, there's kind of houses to the back of it and that, but there's a hurling pitch going across it. The opposite way, so yeah, I don't know. They built kind of to the side of it, but there was a lot of building work going on around it, so it wouldn't have worked, you know.
Yeah. So it kicks on then. So a few games beaten in the league, and then
at the very start, then cup matches start coming. Well, Casey laid into us, I'm sure, yeah, and I think something changed, and then we just started winning matches. Something clicked. Actually, what clicked was, we were playing 4-4-2, and I remember Casey changing it to 3-5-2, and it just worked. You know, something just clicked. Positions worked well. We had people in the right positions, and everything worked perfectly. We had an American lad in the midfield, if you remember, Jamie Gilbert his name was, and he was sitting in the 6, and it just worked perfect. It allowed Peter and a couple and just different lads then, but allowed them to go a bit. And then the right wing backs, Chris was one of them. And you played with Chris, brilliant up and down the wing, and myself and Davey up front, and we had that team for the whole season. Keith Murray was...
Oh, Keith was there. He played sweeper, would he, that year?
He played sweeper, and we had 2 fellas marking in front of him, so Keith didn't have to worry about centre-forwards, and Keith just ran the game, to be honest. He was brilliant.
He had a great few years at Ballymun, didn't he, Keith, actually? Yeah,
he was unreal in that position, just clever. Similar to Carl, actually, just clever. He knew exactly what to do. He'd drop off, just playing ball, just the ball playing centre half, and just control the game, you know.
Yeah, good lad, Keith.
So how did you go on from then? So 4 seasons finished up, no trophies, or was thereabouts?
No. It was the 4th season we won the 3. So we won the Leinster. Yeah,
we led it back.
Won the Leinster,
please God,
the FAI, and
Jeez.
the
That's the 4th season, was it?
Or Liddy, one or the other. That was the very 4th season. Casey went
I
back.
thought you went in for the season and then
no,
right,
very 4th season, 2008, 2009, I'm sure, and won the treble. Yeah, 3 cups.
Jesus, yeah.
Brilliant.
Who was beaten along the way there in the games? Can you remember?
Well, first of all, the FEI Junior. I think out of the 11 rounds, because there's about 11 rounds to get to the final, I think 10 of them were away and in the country. So we'd 3 or 4 in Mayo, and we'd stay the night. So they'd fork out the money.
Fly up.
No. Brilliant, yeah. So we'd stay the night, and we'd play the following day then. So I'm sure that was hard to keep the boys off the gargle as well, you know. I remember being a couple of issues there, but we'd stay the night on the Saturday, play on the Sunday, and we were just, it was a real us against them, you know, backs against the wall. We played 3 or 4 times in Limerick, hard place to go as well. And 3 of
crowds down with us.
We'd bring crowds, exactly, people's like girlfriends, wives, but also we had supporters just from Ballymun, just people that were coming supporting the team. And yeah, out of 11 rounds, I think 10 were away. And the semi-final, I remember, was up in Erris, in Mayo. It's kind of like a little island off Mayo. A very good team. Beat them 2-1, goal in the last 2 minutes or something. And
could you feel it as you went on that the confidence, like, this is us, this is our year? Yeah,
definitely. Yeah, it was. Do you know what? It felt similar to the 2001 year.
Last minute winners and
just backs against the wall sometimes, but everyone fighting together. You've been in them teams yourself where you love it, and then when you win, it's even sweeter. The points taste sweeter at the end.
Yeah.
It's brilliant, like, yeah.
Are you adding to the goal tally as you go as well in the cups?
Yeah, no, that was a good goal year from you in that FEI Junior. I think I scored in 10 out of the 11 rounds. I remember actually Bernard O'Connor telling me that as well a couple of years after. But
you're probably, obviously Davy Kane was still there, probably taking up Davy Kane's role in the team as he was when you first went in.
Possibly, yeah. Like Davy was a bit different then. You know, he was kind of holding it up more and less running off the shoulder, but equally as good. Just like Davy taking all the pressure off me, and like Davy taking the 2 centre halves' attention away, and then me mopping up little bits. And most of the goals were coming from Davy just being a nuisance, you know.
Yeah, it's actually. Do you know what? I'm not going to be too dramatic and say it's upsetting.
Well, here we go.
But like when you think of that, when you hear it of like Davy Kane and Barry Kavanagh playing up front together, and even Davy Kane and Gary Burdock, and then Micah and Lacey and John O'Rourke and Keith Dunn and whoever else like you can name at that level. Like you're not getting that now, sure you're not.
Just because everyone's going to 1.
No, I know with the 1, but like wouldn't it?
Everybody is doing that 1, and the 9 has disappeared now.
Oh no! I
would love to see 2 centre forwards just bang smack up front with the quality of Davy and Barry.
Now is they'd have to go to the 3-5-2 to get that, because they don't want to lose the one in midfield.
They would.
I'd love to go to the 4-4-2, but
they would. But one thing I'll say as well is centre halves now do not know how to play against 2 centre forwards.
Yeah.
No,
I've done it a few times. We do it with Duleek, and the first team of Duleek play 2 up front, and the centre halves can't handle it. because they don't like it. They don't like people put pressure on them, you know.
But what the deal was, obviously, because they're so used to one. If one player is that way and on the right hand side, they're not in the body. They're just leaving them blind. They're getting caught in the blind side every single
Every time.
Every time, because they're so used to seeing the one player,
Yeah.
just marking him, or not marking anyone.
Yeah, it's too easy for them, for the centre halves, I think. And sometimes I think coaches now can just mix it up again. Go back to 2, even for 10 minutes.
Just
have a look at it, and it gets the centre halves thinking. There was a thing where sometimes we'd have 2 centre forwards for the first 10 minutes, and it totally messed with the other team centre halves then, and then you can tell one of them to drop in. As you said, you're getting outnumbered in the middle. It does happen.
Yeah.
So you can get one of your centre forwards to drop in as a floating 10 then, you know.
But then you wait for the other team to react, and then you switch it back then to the original, and then
Exactly.
folks going on.
Exactly, yeah.
Especially the players. If you're working on that change, you know what he's doing. But the other team obviously then is a bit of the spin there.
100%. And the most common position thing now is like 4-2-3-1 probably, you know. To me, that turns into a 4-5-1.
Definitely.
It's definitely a fall.
It really does, you know.
Especially when you haven't got
Just put a code
Yeah.
as you're saying, you're attacking, they're in this now. You have more lads going forward.
and the wingers are class as attackers, like you know, but they're nearly
The winger.
the wingers. They're like
Yeah,
nearly
exactly.
nearly fullback.
I said before in this, I would love to go back to the 4-4-2. Obviously, then you just had to have the players to do it. But 4-4-2 to me.
Well, as I said, we are doing it in Duleek,
Yeah.
and teams don't know how to play against us sometimes, you know.
The 3-5-2 formation, going back to that era of football, in amateur football alone,
Yeah.
I think Leicester might have bringing in first,
The-
but it was very successful for teams like Leicester's
Sheriff
team,
had it, isn't it?
and then when
as well.
Sheriff switched to a 3-5-2, they start being dominant,
Yeah.
and then you've got a treble success in a season.
Yeah.
In between them,
Would you change
Points.
us? We're going out to the country teams. Would it be a 3-5-2? Or would you set up differently?
When I first went down,
Yeah.
it was 4-4-2 mostly in, you know, down Duleek.
When you were down, say, playing down in Mayo.
All right.
with Ballymun.
No, you were going against 4-4-2s
Yeah.
nearly all the time
3-5-2.
with a 3-5-2, and
But Casey played that with Kilbarrack, no?
no, not at all.
Just you switched up as
He just switched it up. We were struggling for the first few. As I said, we lost our first few games, and I was trying to think what the change was when you were asking me out, and it was that he changed to 3-5-2, and it just clicked. Personnel wise, it just clicked,
Suited everybody.
and it just suited everyone. And something clicked, as I say. We started getting our 2 midfielders on the ball. The American lad Jamie was sitting in the 6, protecting the back 4. Keith was brilliant, dropping back. Keith just mopping everything up, and then Davy Conroy in goal, sweeper keeper if we needed, you know. So it just worked. Just worked.
So we were going on from there. The 4th season, won the treble.
Did you get a bad injury, Bar? You said at the start through the season.
So we won the FAI Junior, the Leinster Junior, and the Liddy, and in the 3rd semi-final, which was the Liddy, I was playing in Ballymun against Sandy Hill, and just went in for it wasn't
League game.
Huh?
League game.
No, it was the semi-final of the Liddy.
Sorry.
So I stretched for the ball, and had one foot planted in the ground, stretched with me other foot, and the foot planted in the ground, I just heard a pop, and I just felt like I think I had played 50 matches up to then, so I don't know whether it was fatigue or whatever, but just heard the pop, looked down, and something didn't feel right, you know. So after it then went into the VHI, they did scans, but it's too swollen, can't tell anything. That was a Sunday.
Did you know something serious?
Yeah, I knew something serious was wrong, and I was due to go to Sardinia with the amateurs on the Friday. So I remember ringing Jerry Smith on the Sunday night and saying, Jerry, something's not right here, you know, I can't go on Friday. Of course, Jerry tried to sort me out. Yeah. Well, what he did was he organised the doctor. We had a doctor, Dennis, his name was.
For the cortisone injection, way did they throw them out back then?
Yeah, so I went to him in Longford, and the doctor had a feel around. Now, to be fair, I believe it wasn't a complete tear like you had. It was a small little rupture in the middle of it. So I got the cortisone. I got the cortisone on the Tuesday, and then tried to run on the Wednesday or Thursday. And I was talking to Jerry every night, you know, because we were flying out on the Friday morning for a week and a half, and I got the time off work, and all work were always great, the job I had at the time. And I tried to do a run, and just the leg just went from under me, even though I had the cortisone. So I just rang Jerry and said, look, Jerry, it's not good. So I had a feeling what it was, and then a week later I went for a scan, and there was a tear in it. So I missed all the finals then.
Heartbreaking stuff, isn't it?
Yeah, it was heartbreaking. And do you know what, Casey?
After probably playing a massive part in getting. Now, look, I know it's a team thing, but like the quality in your goals.
Well, yeah, exactly. Myself and Davy's goals, like the two of us, we must have had about 30 goals each by that stage, because we were racking up the goals. Casey still made me turn out, and he picked me for every squad. So even though I couldn't even come off the bench, he was still picking me on the bench for it.
Just to frighten everyone.
I don't know. He did ask me not to say it to anyone as well. So until after the final, about the leg. Yeah, really. So I didn't tell any. I told Davy Kane, the hotel in the Regency, the night before the FAI Junior, and asked him not to say anything to anyone. But
and like, are the lads kind of looking, going, "What's this? Why isn't Bar starting?" Or
yeah, well, they were all coming over and asking. I was saying, "Oh, I have a hamstring injury." I was saying,
just started loud shit. That prick that dropped me and all.
Yeah.
More than
well, I was pretending I had a hamstring injury, and when they were training, that I was just sitting there pretending to rub the hamstring and all. So yeah, but
Golden Globe on the way, is it? For the acting?
It was one of them, yeah. So, but then I told them all after, and they were giving out to me for not telling them the truth. But
I suppose it's a bit of a decoy, is it? When they're coming up against the team and they're like, Barry's on the bench there, but look, they can play and throw him on there. Like,
yeah, we were playing. It was St. Peter's of Athlone. It was in the final, and there was a load of stuff between their manager and Casey in the paper, and the Target for the couple of weeks before it. So yeah, that's when Casey asked me the week before not to say anything to anyone. So
where was that final?
That was in Talca, yeah.
What about the Leinster Junior then? Where was that? Who would just be?
The Leinster Junior, where was that now? Trying to think where that was. I can't remember. I know the Liddy or the Nivea was Baldoyle up in the AUL on the main pitch. I can't remember what the Leinster Junior. No, I can't remember. The memory,
Yeah, and you don't play in them as well.
Well, that as well, yeah. And I remember being on the bench and getting the number 18 jersey or something, still have it at home. But
is it killing you even today, this day? Do you think about it a little bit?
A little bit, but you know what? When it's totally out of your hands, there's nothing you can do about it, And you have to take the good with the bad. You have to look back and go, right, I made up for it in other ways.
You've done well, yeah.
Yeah.
So up on the news there?
Yeah, and up a couple of weeks after the season finished, Ray Moore and up in Santry there, out for, I think it was about 8 months, came back in maybe the February of the following year.
It's quick.
Yeah, it was quick enough now. It was whatever way he did it. I think he took it from my patellar tendon, turned it around and just straightened it up, and 8 or 9 months, came back in the February, March, and played for the last couple of months of the season, so happy enough for that.
How did you find coming back from an injury like that after being so long, like in your fitness, your quality, your technique, anything changing, or are you frustrated at all?
You're in your 30s as well, are you?
Yeah, well, I was just gone 30, so it happened when I was 29, and I was gone 30 then. But to be fair, I was fit enough, and you know yourself, you can actually run when you're recovering from it, and before that you can run. So he had made me, he had told me to build up the quads and around it beforehand, just so when it does die off, it won't be as drastic. But recovering for it in the gym all the time. The lads would be out on the pitch, I'd be in the gym. So whenever they had trained, I was training. I set myself a goal that if they were training, I was training, just a different type of training, So I came back fine, to be honest. The year after that then, so that was the February, the following year was probably my best goal scoring year for them. I was 31. The year before I left to go to Duleek, that was probably my best goal scoring years.
Got a good pre-season into you then?
Got a really good pre-season, and the injuries, no little niggles. I was never one for huge niggles, or like as in hamstring snapping and all. So that following year then, I think there was about 42 goals I think I got, and that was my that was my best year. Now that was
Zone there.
leagues and cups, you know.
42 goals.
Yeah, that was leagues and cups, and then I left to Duleek.
Out with a bang.
Yeah, Gary McCormick was the manager actually, and Gary just came in.
Also, Casey would have went then. Didn't
Casey
he?
went.
Right. Gary came from Sandy Hill, didn't he?
Sandy Hill, yeah. Gary
That's right.
came in, and I remember Gary was saying, "Oh, I was telling him, well, I'm living in Duleek. I want to go there while I still have a little bit left because I have to live there, you know." And you know, a good team as well, a very good team, a good new manager, Dave Rogers, they had coming in, and good players. And I remember thinking, right, I'm gonna give a good couple of years to Duleek.
Was there anything else pulling you there, Bar, other than just being living in the area, or had you gone watching them? Did you know a little bit about?
Yeah. Well, I went watching them, and I knew a lot of the lads in there. Do you know, I actually trained a couple of times with them while I was with Ballymun, because you'd go home from work, you'd be at home, you didn't want to drive back up then after being in Dublin. So I remember Casey saying, just train with Duleek. Terry Casson was involved, a lad from Ballymun. He was involved in the coaching in Duleek. So I remember just training with them 2 or 3 times, and then throughout the season then I jump into their training sessions and all. So,
Great, yeah.
so I knew them, so, you know.
Good to have.
Yeah, exactly.
Give me a few years. You have to give them 14, is it, at this stage?
Yeah, 13 now, yeah. So I was 32 when I went there. The first year, we won the main cup up there, and we actually won the league, but there was
What league are you in, Bar?
the
Sorry.
Meath and District League. Well, it's called the North East Football League now, but at the time it was the Meath and District League, and we had a very strong team. We won the Challenge Cup, it's called. It's basically the Liddy down here, you know. And we won the league, but it was taken off us on a technicality. One of our players was meant to serve the ban the week before, but served it the following week, and it was taken off us for that. But yeah,
You got player of the year for that league, did you?
yeah, for the league that year, yeah,
That year, was it?
yeah. So they do an awards deal similar to the one the AUL did, and they do a player of the year, and I got that year, yeah. 49 goals that year.
Did you?
Yeah.
So
That's why they put the protest in. He scored 49 goals.
49 goals, yeah. Was it that easy?
No, it wasn't easy. It definitely wasn't easy, but we had a super team, I have to say. It'd be up there with like, they mightn't be some of the Ballymun teams I played in, but like just camaraderie wise and just sticking together, and a lot of quality as well. I played up front with a lad who's even older than me. He was 37, 38. I think you would have played against him. Tony Grant, no? Boots Grant. So,
I heard him,
yeah,
I think.
so he's League of Ireland
Yeah.
legend, basically. You
Bowes,
know.
is he?
Bowes,
Yeah.
he played up in Drogheda and Dundalk and all, and then up north as well. But he was playing up front with me, and very similar to Davy Kane, occupies 2 centre halves, doing all the old selfish work while, you know, I'd pick up the pieces and that. And then we had a very strong midfield, strong back line, good keeper, you know.
Quality wise, like when you're up there, did you know what you were going into, or were you surprised with them like that? Would they have been able to come down and mix it in the likes of Premier A and top levels then?
They'd have been close enough. Do you know what? Balogan were
Balogan,
moved then back into Air League. So, yeah, Balogan were mid-table of them, right, in AUL, were they?
Yeah,
Roughly. Like,
yeah.
they were never,
They were
never a handy
tough
match.
game though, no?
Just kick off at 10 o'clock in the morning or something on Sunday.
Up there,
But-
yeah.
Sunday
And a couple of times you might
Sunday
have finished.
morning.
Did they finish high up, third or second?
Yeah.
Once or
Yeah, I
twice?
think probably the first couple of years they came up, and I think they might have won a Nivea Cup as well in them early years.
Yeah. Well,
I think they definitely won.
Balogan were strong, and they weren't winning it then when I went in, you know. There was a couple of other teams.
They had a lad up front, sorry, Paddy his name was,
Yeah,
good
yeah,
player,
yeah.
kind of long hair.
Yeah, sort of curly hair, yeah.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
he was still
good player.
playing up to a couple of years ago.
Was he?
Paddy Harty, his name is.
Good player.
So a very,
Remember him, Nelly? No, you'd have
very good
kicked him
player.
around at some stages.
So many bangs in the head, Al.
He could take a kicking as well.
yeah, and
You loved it. Give me more.
he was one of them, yeah, and he was strong at the back as well, and good keeper as well. So, but yeah, it would have been about that level. So, like, Erdu League team would have done well in that Premier A, I'd say, yeah.
Pretty good.
So, at the moment, then you're coaching away. Any plans to kind of hang up the boots?
Do you know? Every year I just say I'll just keep going and see how it goes. You know,
My wife is sick of listening to you.
She is. She's sick of listening to me moaning, me asking her to put the socks on the following morning, But, do you know what? I just love football. Same as yourselves. Like, if you could play wherever you would.
Definitely.
Just love football.
That's one of the reasons. Playing 25s there, obviously the fitness has gone out the window as well.
Yeah.
But it's just the pain the next day. Next 2-3 days.
So sore. Especially the Astros, I find. I find the grass is much more forgiving on you, but
your mind's telling you that, you can make that tackle and you jump yourself into it and your hips are in bits.
You think you're 25 again.
You wish.
Yeah, I know, but it's, like, I'm still enjoying it, and obviously the pace isn't there where, the ball goes over the top. Now I don't. I just look at the ball now. I don't even try running for it. But if you can get it into you tight and you can get it, roll a centre half,
Let the football at the feet do the work.
Exactly,
yeah.
and then
over into the corners.
And then if you want a shot, if you get room for a shot, sure, that doesn't leave you.
Are the goals still coming up there for you now as a player manager?
For you, yeah. So I wasn't playing last year at the start of the season, and we lost a couple of forwards then and form as well. And then the other manager, Jimmy, just said to me, you're playing next week. And I was always reluctant to put myself in ahead of someone else, So
you're still training though up till this point?
Still training up to that point, doing the sessions and doing my own little 5Ks here and there and doing small bits in the gym and that. But then I started playing halfway through the season, and if you get chances, you score, So, yeah.
Feed the goat and he will score.
No, don't know about that now.
So you're probably sitting on about 500 career goals, are you, Bar?
I'm not counting. I'm not counting.
Anything else we need to touch on from any of those experiences with the Duleek or Ballymoon, or have we
regional
covered?
Runner up, was it the Irish team?
Yeah, that was 2013. So that was me last year at Ballymoon. We went to Portugal. We were there for 2.5 weeks actually. Went through the rounds, quarters, semis, got to the final, and I hadn't started a match up to the final, and then I started the final.
It was very unpredictable, wasn't he, Jerry, with things
very
like
strange, and he started me in midfield. So in the top of a diamond.
What's the process there? That's mental, isn't it?
That's a conversation over a bottle of wine, I'd say.
Yeah, so
you're right. Put him in.
He said he wanted me getting shots and facing. He wanted me,
that's a good thing.
25, 30 yards out was his idea, and then he had me on the free kicks and corners and that, and I remember Chalky, Walsh and all, like he was winning everything, so I'd know how the kind of runs he was making. It was working in the training field, so yeah, he went for it in the match. Didn't work out. The other team, the Braga team, we played, the Portuguese team, just knocked the ball about. I think it was 36 degrees. It was in a stadium. We were just
chasing the ball down.
We were absolutely dying, and I was in midfield trying to chase the ball. It just didn't work, and yeah.
You're getting closer and closer though, because I think it might have been Breen or Paul Breen had said we got to that final, we knew we were getting to a certain level and a certain stage for amateur football to be able to compete.
Yeah.
I think the next tournament then did they win?
They did 2 years later in 2015. Davy, I'm sure Davy got the winner, did he? Davy Lacey
got
in the header in the final. Yeah.
You weren't there, Bar?
No, I wasn't there for that. That was probably a year a bit much for me. I would have been 35 then, and I played probably 3 years with Duleek by that stage. So once you're out of it that long, 2 or 3 years, I was training the year before with the amateurs, and then I think I got a hamstring injury, and he just didn't pick me after that.
That's how it fizzled out, is it?
Yeah,
because I was going to ask that. Yeah, like
conversation, or was it?
No, not really. No, like to be fair, there's so many players.
Yeah.
Jerry doesn't know anyone a conversation. Like he gave me all those caps, so you'd be grateful to him for that. Like he didn't owe anybody an explanation for that, So it was, there was no regrets or hard feelings or anything with that.
He seemed like that even talking to him. He wasn't going to make up any excuses. He wasn't going to get into... We tried to ask him, didn't we? Tried to get in a little bit and say, give us your best 11, and he wouldn't, No. He said a little bit, and fairness to him, fair play to him, he seems like he is. He's a good man, and he's a nice person, and obviously a fantastic manager for and an ideal manager for internationals.
Excellent, yeah. It suited him perfect, yeah. And as you said, he did it for 21 years, so brilliant he was.
Deadly. Happy days. So we're going into questions.
On the questions there, yeah.
Go for questions, Bar.
Yeah. Walk away.
Any regrets?
No regrets. There's no point, you know. Got every single bit I could out of myself. I suppose a regret, if you can call it that, is the injury. But again, nothing you can do about that.
Out of your hands, yeah.
Out of your hands, happened to you. Well, nothing you can do about it. So, no regrets. No.
Best player you played with?
Oh, lads, why is doing this to me?
I had to know.
Oh no, I'll answer.
Just like
right. This is unlucky on Davy Kane, because Davy Kane is possibly the best player. Christy McGallagher, I'm going to say.
Yeah, I don't think Davy will have any complaints about that, will he?
No. You go with the best manager?
Casey, best manager. Jerry Smith, brilliant manager as well, but just longevity and how long I was with Casey for, and
just thinking there, you only had 2 managers. Would that be right in senior football?
Well, apart from Duleek, yeah.
Yes, so it'd be
3 with Jerry.
Sinnott as well.
So it's Sinnott, Sinnott, then it'd be Casey both times, then Duleek, then
yeah. Duleek, we had a couple of different managers, but and Jerry Davis then for the AUL teams a lot, but yeah, Casey, I'd say.
Your best club?
Oh, lads.
I know, yeah. You had to go up there.
That's a tough
back up there now and into the pub and all, so.
Yeah. No, it has to be where you're from, you know. I'm from Ballymun, from 200 yards away from the pitch. Grew up playing on the pitch, grew up watching the likes of Christy McGallagher and Casey running around when I was 15, 16, watching them play, wanting to wear the jersey. So it's have to be Ballymun,
yeah. Pretty good.
And where you've had your most success as well, isn't it? Usually it's the case where you have your most success.
Yeah, definitely, yeah. So
your best club. It was your best club, Nelson. So many.
Oh.
Did you? Left all the way through. No, I went chasing trophies there, didn't work out, bro. No, it was only left the Clester. Who else?
Were you with Clester?
No, I didn't know the Clester.
Me and Daz went down.
Tolga away.
Tolga.
Griffer over.
Shut the fuck up, Al.
There's been a few, hasn't there?
There's a few where.
Listen, I love football that much. I want to play for everybody. Best friend in football?
Ooh, best friend of football. That's a tough one, lads. I'd say Willie O'Connor. I played with him at Kilbarrack, and then he played a bit at Ballymun as well. So yeah, I'm gonna go Willie O'Connor or Casey, to be honest. I haven't spoken to Casey in a little while, but you know how life gets in the way and that. But Casey or Willie O'Connor, I'd say.
Infrequent touch though, would you usually be in like with likes of Casey and?
Yeah, just as I said, a little text, but lately it's more my fault probably. You know, you're working, you're playing football for a different area and all, and it's just it's my own fault.
Do you know what? To be honest, Bart, you'll probably, I'm sure you will now after this podcast is released, you'll probably get flooded with text messages and ex-players, and you might not think it now, but I spoke to Gary Cleary. And true, Gary Cleary was on the podcast. He's a goalkeeper from over south, so I don't know whether you listened to it.
I listened to it.
He got on. He was like, Al, thanks for you and Nelson for getting in touch and doing the podcast. I'm glad I've done it. So many people texted him and got back in touch, and they spoke about memories and things like that. And it even led on to somebody that he played with, that I played with, had gone on to me then. And me and him start going forward and back with memories, and I hadn't spoke to him in a few months, and
that's doing your football. It's mad,
brilliant. Like the connection and what it gives to people to be able to throw their memories back out now.
You said it's junior football, amateur football, and it's on your own free will as well. But it's that will to obviously the love of football that brings you together every Tuesday, Thursday, and on Sunday.
Yeah,
to go and do it. Pissing of rain, snow, fucking whatever else, the part of it,
Yeah.
That's what the camaraderie of
and
it is.
It's reaching out to past players, past friends that you probably haven't spoke to or spoke.
And that's it, and especially
because
where I'm playing now, I'm out of the loop.
Exactly,
and I wouldn't be around Dublin too much. I walk around the country, My father still lives in Ballymun, so I'll be up to him sometimes. But I definitely lost touch. It's mainly my fault. You lose touch with people, but it's something I'll have to get better at, I think.
Yeah, it's nice to stay, even outside of your own friends. We even said this a few times, but your football friends,
Yeah.
there's just something different about it.
It is.
Like, you see your mates every
is.
weekend if you want, or
Especially
every
if you
week,
want
or-
stuff with them, you
Yeah,
know.
yeah, and it's good to go back. I have a group with the Crumlin lads, and we try and meet up, like, and it's, but you know, it's an odd time it gets.
We're probably going to get through a whole episode there without Al saying you play for the Crumlin. We nearly got there.
Oh, it is. It's great.
Hardest player. Sorry, Al. Hardest player you played against.
Jeez, I hadn't thought about any of these, lads. Hardest player I played. Do you know what? And it was early doors, but he was, Boo McLean off Wefta. I remember only being 18, 19, playing for Ballymun and Kilbarrack against them. And he wasn't nice to play against, I can tell you. Sound now.
Ruthless, wasn't he?
Ruthless.
Yeah.
But back then you could tackle centre halves. Like when I first started off, centre halves came through the back of you. They kicked you, you know. Now they don't even breathe on you, you know.
Don't even get hand in the back to force it backwards.
Like some of the tackles when I was younger, and even as in the middle of my 20s and that, the sheriff lads, they'd be taking turns on me, literally taking turns doing a foul. I'd hear them, you know, lashing into you, and then afterwards it's grand. They're your mates, and it's grand. You're playing with the AUL or the amateurs, but taking turns to literally upend you. But it was different times. Yeah,
and you more or less went unscathed, other than the knee injury, which wasn't.
Yeah, never really. Do you know, you learn to ride certain tackles. You learn to which ones to go into. You learn not to half go into tackles, and then there's always, like, I wouldn't have been one of them leaving boots in, but my way was just getting the ball in the net, and that's.
We always say just we're playing with centre half, then he'd be 100% forward. I said, all it takes for him for one moment there to put the ball top corner. And then it's rubbing that face, smiling. That whole more than a kick. Yeah,
definitely. Yeah.
So I just never engaged with the centre half forwards. Just
and every centre forwards did, and some centre forwards. I think Davey used to have a chat with the centre halves. I'm sure he had a chat with you, and he definitely had chats with you.
That's with me.
I remember that. But every centre forward was different, and I just used to ignore them. Ignore them.
Yeah, you were quiet on the pitch.
Just ignore them.
Talking, as they say, isn't it?
I was just ready for the ball to come to me, and every single match you get half a chance, and that's when you needed to be ready, you know.
Your favourite memory?
Favourite memory? Probably a little, the two FEI wins, frustrating, didn't play in the final, you know, like it was brilliant, but from a selfish point of view, you know, you're thinking
hard
about
to enjoy.
It is hard to enjoy a little bit. Probably the 2012 Oscar Traynor final against Kerry, I'd say. The missus was there, and my daughter was there, and we won 3-1, and I remember getting the man the match after it and all, and getting pictures with my daughter, and I still have the picture at home in the sitting room, and she still talks about it to me, so that's probably my favourite, I'd say.
Players that didn't fulfil their potential.
Oh God. You just want me to name them?
No, just have a little.
Well, not and skip on.
Yeah. Okay. Is there something out there that you'd think that, look, listen, he could have stepped on to a higher level, or someone that was around that you thought could have kicked on?
Well, there's a few up at Duleek, alright. There's been a few through the years at Duleek. At Ballymun, I'm not so sure. There was, you know, like everyone got every bit they could out of themselves, you know. Like personally, most of them are like myself. Like you put it in and train, and as you said, Tuesday, Thursday, and then you give everything you can on a Sunday, and whatever happens out of that happens. But there's no one that I can think of name-wise, or there's no one that I'd say anyway.
Yeah.
Put it that way.
Fuck's sake, Bert.
I know, you're looking for a bit of scandal there. Yeah, I know.
You get back in touch with people, not fall out with people.
Yeah.
I actually have less friends now since I've done this.
I'd say so, yeah.
Your best 11.
Oh, God. Gonna make me pick me best 11.
Son, it's the main
Jesus Christ, lads. That's a toughie now. I didn't even know you was...
No, this was coming back.
No, but...
You
didn't ask the Kane this.
Yes, we did, yeah.
The Kane stitches?
Yeah.
You didn't ask Christie.
They picked...
Did we start after Christie, did we?
Did you listen to Christie's, all Christie's there the other day?
Yeah.
A whole lot of it?
Yeah, he didn't.
What did you say at the end of it?
I don't know.
Oh, no.
No, we probably did. We probably didn't have
He
questions for the
He was
forces.
talking about the accident at the end of
Yeah,
it in detail,
Yeah.
yeah. No, there was no 11 with Christie, but anyway, you're going to make me do it.
yeah.
Oh, you don't have to do it. Listen, it's on yourself.
Well, I will
People
do.
have refused. Though.
Yeah.
Have they? Look, it's tough, and I might name a couple of different players for each position.
Yeah,
that's
that's
not
not
bad,
Just in passing.
honourable
you know.
mentions.
So
So what formation are we going for?
4-4-2.
we go 4-4-2, just for old school's sake. Like in goal, it's Davy Conroy. It's Davy. I'm sure most people come in here that played with him have named him. You know, Roy Full is a tough one. So I played with a few good Roy Fulls. Richie Kelly was brilliant. Played with Bilko. Don't know, you know Bilko from Colester. He's with the over 35s now. Keith Buckley. He was very good. But I'm going to name the captain up at Duleek. Brian Murphy, his name is. So Murph, I'll name at right full. Centre halves. That's a tough one again. I would say Mel Kelly at Ballymun, brilliant.
You'd have played centre half with Gaz McCormick, would you have back then?
Yeah, Gaz and a fella called Ray Duffy.
Oh yeah,
Ray would have been an older player, came in, but he was huge in the year we won everything. So mention for Ray Duffy as well. Couple of players in Duleek. I'll just give a quick mention. Paul Martin, Baz Kelly as well. But the other one with Mel, I would say, are we doing international as well? James Walsh, I'd say. Yeah, Chalky. Breen would be there as well, but we go Chalky with Mel for now. Left full, again, there's been loads. It's tough, so I'll have to name one or two in each position. Chris Sheridan, it'd probably get the nod. Fella up in Duleek, Woodsy, would be another one. The year we won the 2013, he was brilliant up there, and he's the manager up there now for the first team. Collie Curry would be up there as well. But yeah, it's hard to name one, but if I had to name one, it would be Chris Sheridan. For in midfield, I'm going to go with Casey and Christy McGallagher, the two of them, with Dara close enough as well. I didn't play for years with Dara, that was the thing, you know.
Got a bad injury, Dara, didn't he?
Dara then got a bad injury, so he came back a bit. He was still there or thereabouts when I went back the second time, but he got a bad injury. It was a bad tackle, do you remember?
We heard about it, yeah, Kevin's, yeah.
It was a shocking tackle, and so Dara would...
Bad one that, like, I don't think he could let that tackle go, couldn't he, Dara?
No, he struggled to let that go. I spoke
struggled to let that go.
spoke with him about it years later, and he's still a bit bitter about it. And like, from what I didn't see it, but
From what I heard,
I don't blame him really. But your man tried to apologise or whatever. But look, these things happen as well. Left wing, it's a tough one again. I know I'm saying it's a tough one for everyone. It's hard to look past Theo Hanna, you know. He was
What a
a
player.
magician. My God,
Player.
you just get the ball and you just go at players. You could do anything with the ball. So I would say Theo would be there. Right wing, Paul Kane, I would say. Paul was unreal. Up front, I'm going to go with Davy and Tony Grant. So two similar enough players, but they would cause mayhem to any team. So the two of them up front, and managing Casey.
Very good. Some team down.
Show.
Sorry if I left any lads out or that, but it's a tough one, you know.
Pick everyone.
Yeah, it's tough.
Some people put themselves into it as well, so you didn't put yourself in.
No interest, no. The two boys, it'd be more than enough.
Yeah.
More than enough.
Go show how humble you are in fairness though for. Because yeah, a lot of times you're talking there about Davey, they do all the work, you're just picking up little pieces here. And
that's the truth, and most people that would have watched myself and Davey or myself and Tony Grant at Duleek, it would have been that, and the lads had no problem with that either. That was their game, and my game was different to theirs, and that's
complement each other. Yeah,
exactly, and it worked, you know.
How did you find playing against Barry as a centre half?
As he said, he just quiet and just sharp, nimble, and gave you all sorts of problems. Probably one of the hardest I played against him. I liked playing against strong lads like Davey. Davey used to back in. I looked at the rough and tumble of it. And
the battle. You used to like little battles with John O'Rourke as well, didn't you?
I think centre halves used to like when centre forwards had engaged them, and that I just didn't give them anything they were looking for. You know, I was happy enough if they won 9 times out of 10. If they won the ball, that's fine. If I won the 10th and I scored, that's fine as well. You know,
didn't like lads dropping into the 10 either, and then 1 minute they're in the 10, and then the next minute they're on your shoulder, and then.
Yeah.
So yeah, where the fuck?
You like to be locked in sometimes.
Exactly. So if the ball's there in front of me, push back, turn, I'll stand you up even. I'll try my best to stop you, but they're dropping the 10 in, leaving the space behind, just to hate because you're going half and half. Then and then obviously if you go half and half and the ball's kept off your top, the pace he has, then you're done.
Because you could kind of score any sort of goal. You could be like you'd hit a 30-yard cracker or
a 6-yard tap in.
Yeah, and you know what? I always said I like the tap ins more. You have to do less work for them. You know, I was always like balls coming across the box and that. I'd always go to wherever no one else was, and you'd be shocked at how many times the ball fell there. And I'd say that to centre forwards now. Just go to little pockets when the ball's being brought in. Go to little pockets that no one else is in, and you'll be shocked at how many times the ball just lands there.
It's mad. Like as the defender. The ball's on the wing there. You're concentrating on the obviously the ball, but that's where your position of the ball is. That's where you're going to be lining up as the defend. But as a centre forward, there, you don't have to look at the ball. You just to the last second. Then you drop into the pocket, and then you get over. So the benefit is always with the centre forwards there. The defender has the hardest job of trying to be in the right position to cover the cross in, and the player that's going to drop to. So all he takes is for me to take me way off the centre forward. He could drop anywhere. Yeah, he could pop up anywhere.
And the centre forward is relying on good ball then from out wide, you know. Exactly. So it's much harder for a centre half. But if a centre forward sometimes, and I'd say this to them now, sometimes you don't have to run. Sometimes stand still, and the space will find you. The ball will find you. You'll be shocked how many times the ball will find you. And then, when you have the ball in the box, then if you're a centre forward, you're the boss. Because you have the ball in the box, he's afraid. He doesn't want to go near you, so you can do whatever shape you want to shoot. Centre half is afraid of you once you have the ball.
You had that in you as well, Brad, didn't you? Like the check back where you'd have the ball and you'd kind of like either pretend to hit it across or shoot and check back onto your left, and then you could. Yeah, the same then from your left back onto your right. I used to notice that with you.
Exactly, and the amount of time, like centre halves, because they're afraid you're actually going to shoot, they'll commit and they'll just go. And like you do it not to make a fool of the centre half, you do it to make a little half yard of space for yourself, so you can then control the narrative in the box. Because as I said, you're the boss. Once you have the ball, you're the boss. He's in trouble, you know.
That's a great way of looking at it. In fairness, though, I never really thought as a centre. Obviously, centre forwards point the mentality is different, but some people don't really think into it that much. They just say ball, goal, shoot.
Yeah, sometimes it's better just to make the right environment for yourself to shoot. Sometimes you see these lads shooting and they're shooting and you know they're going to be blocked. So
yeah. You see in the Premier League, sure, looks like Rashford and Garnacho bleeding. Yeah. Drive you crazy. Obviously, you're not a fan, but they drive you crazy just hitting into it for sake of hitting it.
Yeah, just use your brain. As I said, you're the boss in the box.
Yeah.
Do you do any centre forward work with the boys? Yeah,
I do a little bit with the lads. Yeah, we'll be starting pre-season again in January. Hoping to do a bit more with them. Mainly on shooting and mainly on shooting in tight spaces, but also on what runs you make and how to work with another centre forward. As I said, they play 2 up front. Which makes it easier, and also runs staying on side. So there's so much to be done to do a centre forward. So it's there's a lot of drills you can do, and
there's not a lot being done by any teams really. Sure, there's not coaching wise, like not really. Obviously, coaches have the hands
exactly.
full,
they're not really position specific, like because you'll see goalkeeping coaches. You won't really see a centre forward coach, especially in an amateur or junior level. But we do a bit on it, and I think it helps. Yeah, it definitely helps me, you know. So,
but like obviously you need more training time and everything else. But the way the NFL do it, you have different kind of coaches for. I know it sounds silly because it's different sport.
Yeah.
So you have defensive coaches, you have attacking coaches, and all that. You just bring different sections coaching, and then bring them into at one stage together. You know,
Exactly. Well, the higher up you go as well in soccer, you have that in England and that, but it's like it's a totally different position. You're working totally different muscles on your body. You're striking the ball totally different when you're centre forward. You're not getting as much backlift. You're not getting as much time. You're trying to recreate match situations for them on the training pitch, which will then through muscle memory. Then when you start matching, you don't realise that what you're doing, and you're just shooting. Then
Yeah, very good. So best of luck, and then you're going forward, and
thanks, lads.
Hopefully you'll still play when you're 50.
Oh, jeez, I don't know.
You've only a couple of years, bar for that.
Oh God, I don't know, lads. I'll have to give it up soon. It's getting too sore,
Yeah.
Bar, thanks for your time, pal.
No bother, lads.
Thank you.
No bother.
Brilliant.
Cheers, boys. Brilliant. Thanks.